Without a doubt, one of the pedals that has improved my sound more than any other pedal that I own is one of these, a tuner pedal. Today we're taking a look at the NUX FLOW Tune. If you're a new guitarist and you don't already have a tuner, you will be getting one shortly, guaranteed, maybe more than one. There's no doubt that the market is flooded with tuner pedals today. Everybody has one or multiple offerings, and I'm really impressed with the quality that NUX has been putting out in terms of their latest pedal designs, including the FLOW Tuner. This pedal is very well thought out, small form factor, but a lot of nice features, and I'm really digging it. We're going to take a close-up look at what this pedal can do, and I'm going to show you exactly how it works. But first, I want to talk about some of the features that I really like about this pedal. Number one, it has a really nice switch, full, nice, bright display, which allows you to see the pedal in its full glory, in full light. If you're playing outside, for example, often it's hard to see what you're doing. Low light situations, not a problem. It has buffered bypass, true bypass. It even has silent tuning and a few other tricks up its sleeve, which we'll talk about. Let's take a look at it in a little bit more detail, shall we? As you can hear, the guitar is completely out of tune. Let's turn on the pedal and try and tune it up. The first mode that we're looking at here is strobe mode, one of my favorites. Strobe mode is very cool because as you tune your guitar, if your guitar string is out of tune, depending on whether it's sharp or flat, it will strobe, the lines will strobe either up or down, and as you get closer to getting your string in tune, it'll slow down till you start to see the two arrows on either side indicating that you are in tune. Not only that, but you also see the name of the note that you're striving for and the number of the string. So that's the fourth string, right? So the fourth string of your guitar is the D string. So if you're a complete novice and you don't really know how to tune, it's really foolproof. Now we can change the display mode here and we can use a different tuning mode, and we can go back and tune my E string here, which is out of tune. As you can see, as I'm tuning up, you will start to see bars that will increase until you get to the center and the two arrows appear indicating that you're in tune. So you see the E string is a 6th string and now it's in tune. Now I can also use a different arrow tuning method here, and if I tune the string up here, you see a series of arrows that slowly disappear as you get closer. If you overshoot, they turn red. So you want to be in the center as much as possible till you see those two arrows appear on either side to indicate that you are in tune. So it's very responsive in terms of a tuner. You can see it works very quickly, and it all depends on what you prefer in terms of visual tuning indicators here. But you have a whole bunch to choose from, and you make sure your guitar is in tune. So you can see that there's still one string here that's a culprit. So which one is it? Ah, here we are. It's always that B string. So let's tune it all up. And sounds much better. Now you can also change the tuning mode if you wish. So you can go into different types of tuning. You have guitar standard compensated, and bass. So if you want to tune a bass, you can do that as well. You can also long press the button at the top, and you can change the frequency from 440 to 441, 2, 3, all the way up to the tuning frequency you like and prefer. And once you get to the number that you want it to be, you just let go and it automatically is set to that particular number. What I also like is the fact that the switches on the side here allow you to switch between different things. You have 3 modes. So the one is true bypass, so that it doesn't affect the other pedals in your signal chain when you have it set to true bypass. If you're using long leads and you want to have a buffered signal, you can do that and switch it to buffered. The difference between buffered and buffered monitor is that buffered monitor allows you to hear what you're tuning so you can hear the sound coming through your amplifier. But simple buffered is quiet. It's silent tuning so that you don't have to annoy the other members of your band when you're tuning up. So it's up to you to determine, you know, how annoying you'd like to be. The switch on the front feels very solid. It's a nice, satisfying click. The display is extremely nice and bright, as you can see here as I cycle through the modes. So you can easily see this display in a low light situation or even a high light situation. It'll work just fine in either of those cases. So if you're like me, before you actually spend money on a tuner, you probably want to make sure that it checks all the boxes. For me, this pedal does check all of the boxes. It has a great price point that can't be beat. Heck, you can buy one or more of these. Chuck one in a, you know, your pedal board, one in a flight case or something else as a backup. You know, you're good to go. One of the things that I do really like about this pedal, as I mentioned, is its small form factor. I don't know why a tuner needs to be so large. Now, they thought about that and they just made the surface big, so you have a really nice big display. Even though the tuner is small, it doesn't seem small because the display is huge and very well lit. One of the shortcomings that I want to talk about is the fact that you do have to switch the slider on the side of the unit to be able to go from monitoring, in other words, to hear what your guitar is sounding like when you're tuning, to silent tuning. Now, I would prefer it to be switchable with the actual foot switch. You know, maybe a long press or double press to switch between silent and monitoring, just because I feel like going and having to switch the button on the side is a little bit awkward, and sometimes you don't want to necessarily bend over to do that. But other than that, I think the unit is a great contender in the tuner arena. I think you're going to be very impressed by this tuner, and like I mentioned, at the price point they're selling for, it's a great deal. So check out the NUX Flow tuner for yourself. I think you'll be very happy with what it has to offer, and you might come home with one or more than one. Hey guys, there's definitely more content on the way, so please hit the subscribe button, tickle the little bell icon so you'll be notified whenever new videos are posted online.